Welcome to the 100-Yard Dash Football Podcast presented by the Chiefs Focus Network, where you talks about the NFL from end zone to end zone and all 100 yards in between. Without further ado, here's you.
What it do? Hey, this is the 100-Yard Dash Football Podcast, where I'm talking about the NFL from end zone to end zone and all 100 yards in between. My name is you. That's the letter, not the word. And I am here today with my little sidekick. Hey, say something. Oh, now you want to be shy. Well, I'm here with my daughter, Aaliyah, because she don't want to be without me for some odd reason this morning. So you hear some cooing, that's her being happy. So anyway, we keeps it moving. We keep it moving. That was weak. All right. So we had some bye weeks going on this past week. Week 8 buys. Week 8 buys was the let's see. Here we go. In week 8 buys, Kansas City and LA. So AFC West had the two AFC West teams had a bye week, and that is Kansas City Chiefs and the LA Chargers. Bye-bye. So we're back. Bye-bye to the Kansas City Chiefs and the LA Chargers. They'll be back next week. You won't miss them. Anyway, let's get into it.
Let's go.
Baltimore Ravens on Thursday night. They whoop up on the Tampa Bay Buccaneers 27-22. Takes the Baltimore Ravens 5-3. Takes the Bucs to a disappointing 3-5. First of all, obviously ain't no sunshine when she's gone. Got to be said. It is what it is. But Kenyon Drake's touchdown, that's just amazing vision. The vision he did not have in Arizona, you saw the vision that he has, the field vision that he has since he's on another team, which is obviously the Ravens. So I like to see Kenyon Drake running like this. I really do. Anyway, we keep it moving. Trade alert. Ravens trade the Bears for Roquan Smith in exchange for second and fifth round picks per sources. And I got that from Adam Schefter. So we keep it moving from that Thursday night game. All right, the Denver Broncos. The Denver Broncos win in London over the Jacksonville Jaguars. The Denver Broncos score 21. The Jags score 17. Denver is 3-5. Jacksonville's 2-5. The thing about these two teams is, they were reporting that whoever loses this game is going to be on a fire sale for next season. I didn't know if I believed that, considering, well, I didn't believe it for Jacksonville, considering that that they'll still have their picks. They haven't traded for anybody. Denver would have needed to trade off parts. Denver would have needed to trade off parts because they sent, I want to say, 2 first-round picks to Seattle. And they don't have anything. So they would have had to trade off KJ Hamler, maybe Nick Chubb, like nobody. Everybody is for sale except for 2 in-division rivals. So they said that was whatever. But it doesn't matter because Denver won. So it at least puts a blanket on what it is that the Denver Broncos are trotting out there on the field. Russ spread the ball around on offense. Defense made plays, but Trevor Lawrence. Here's my thing. Trevor Lawrence, 2 interceptions, crucial times. He was supposed to be a no-brainer pick coming out of the draft, and he doesn't look like that. He doesn't look like that at all to me. In fact, he almost looks like what Baker Mayfield is looking like. Ooh. Yeah, he looks like what Baker Mayfield is. Just disappointing. I never thought Baker Mayfield was worth a first-round pick. So we see how that's worked out. Trevor Lawrence might come into something. You see flashes of it at times, but I don't know if he's worth the first-round pick right now because he was supposed to be a no-brainer first-round pick. But anyway, we keep it moving. Let's go to the Arizona Cardinals who move on, who go down to 3-5, lose to the Minnesota Vikings. 6-1. The score, 34-26. I have a legitimate question. Should we start taking the Vikings seriously? I've been waiting for the shoe to drop all year, the other shoe to drop, and it has not been there. They just keep winning. They're 6-1. I've been waiting for the shoe to drop, and it just hasn't. It just hasn't. They just keep winning. They look good. Justin Jefferson still looks good. Adam Thielen's coming to play. It's all working right now with the new coach. You know, they should have got rid of that coach a long time ago if this is the result. But, you know, it is what it is. So, and now I have a question about Kyler Murray. Was it too early to give Kyler Murray that extension? I mean, I thought so before all this whole season went down. I thought it was too early to give Kyler Murray that extension. He forced your hand, and you just had to deal with it. But, boy, he did not look good in that game. He didn't look good in that game at all. Let's keep it moving. The Carolina Panthers lose to the Atlanta Falcons. Carolina goes to 2-6, while Atlanta improves to 4-4. Atlanta scores 37. Carolina scores 34. This game was one of those instant classics because of the DJ Moore situation, right? DJ Moore caught that Hail Mary pass, 62 yards, and it just looked like it was gonna be a walk-off home run, right? A walk-off touchdown, but he took off his helmet, drew the excessive celebration flag. PAT was moved back 15 yards. They missed it, went to overtime, and we know what happened from there. How do I feel about this? If you all, I know this was like 2-3 years ago. I get it. But if you all remember the Minnesota Miracle, Case Keenum, Stephon Diggs, last second jump ball to run into the end zone for the playoffs. And as soon as it happened, Stephon Diggs took his helmet off as soon as he got the touchdown. Granted, I think the game was pretty much over at that time, but DJ Moore, the time was still floating. Like it was a huge game. But I read a tweet from somebody that said y'all need to. This is a high emotion game, and y'all need to let these players feel their emotions. And I agree. I definitely agree. We're not talking about Pop Warner football here. We're not worried. We shouldn't be worried about hurting dudes' feelings. If you that hurt by it, win. That's all to it. DJ Moore deserved to peacock a little bit. He did a double move, went straight on up the field, caught the ball, high pointed the ball in the middle of two receivers. I said deceivers. Two receivers. Come on now. He don't deserve to peacock a little bit. A lot of bit, actually. He deserved it. But what it is what it is. And, yeah, basically it cost the Carolina Panthers that game. Sucks that it is what it is, but it is what it is. It's basically all I can say. Let's move on to the Chicago Bears losing to the Dallas Cowboys. The Dallas Cowboys just whooped the Chicago Bears. I put the records wrong, but the Chicago Bears are 3-5. The Dallas Cowboys are 6-2. The score was Dallas Cowboys 49, Chicago 29. Look, first of all, let's just get this out the way. The Bears color rush uniforms, lovely. I love every piece of it. I really do. I love the orange. Love the orange helmets. It looks good. The Cowboys were just too much for the Bears. They went up by 2 TDs early. Never looked back. Never looked back. Cowboys are great in converting third downs in this game. But no matter what, Fields tried his best to get them back in that game. And I applaud him for that. I really do. He's trying to put the team on his back, but it's just not working right now. They don't have enough talent on the team. Hey, mama. They don't have enough talent on the team. So they need to figure out how to add that team with talent at next year. They needed a guy like Amari Cooper. But obviously they didn't have the draft capital to do it, considering so much.
Emotional damage.
Dallas, surprisingly, had no 100-yard receivers. They don't have a 100-yard receiver yet, and they're 6-2. Who would have thought that you wouldn't need a 100-yard receiver? Who would have thought that CeeDee Lamb, and I think Gallup just got back. So CeeDee Lamb and all those guys wouldn't be 100-yard receivers. I said 100-yard receivers. And they're not. They don't have a 100-yard receiver yet. They got Pollard running. They got Dak throwing. Look, it's working. It's working in Dallas. Shoot, you don't need a 100-yard receiver. Keep it going. Keep it going. All right, the Las Vegas Raiders and the New Orleans Saints. So, the Raiders give us a goose egg in the Big Easy. The Raiders give us a goose egg in the Big Easy. New Orleans whoops up on the Raiders 24-0. New Orleans Saints are 3-5. The Vegas Raiders are 2-5. 24-0. It's time for the Raiders to sell off some parts and move on from this car experience. It's lukewarm water, man. It's lukewarm water. It ain't hot. It ain't cold. You can make it hot, but it's going to get lukewarm really soon. It's kind of wild that the Raiders mortgaged off the future for one guy that Carr had chemistry with almost a decade ago. And I wouldn't be worried about that if they had been winning. But it don't even look like they ever knew each other. Let's be real. It don't look like they ever knew each other. It looked like, I know they were on the same team, don't get me wrong, but it looked like they might have went to the same school, crossed paths a few times. That's about it. They don't even have any chemistry. He tried too hard at the beginning of the year to get it in rhythm with him. It just ain't working down there in Vegas.